Hello and welcome to the Happy Homemaker. Today I'm going to show you guys how to make this delicious lemon loaf. So let's get started. Start off by preheating your oven to 350 degrees. In a medium-sized bowl, add in 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour, a teaspoon of baking powder, and half a teaspoon of salt and whisk together and set aside. Now, in a large bowl, add in 1 cup of granulated sugar and the zest of 1 lemon and just mix that in all together. It smells so good. And mix that until the sugar's a light yellow. Now add in half a cup of vegetable oil and using our hand mixer, just mix that together. Now we're going to be adding in 2 eggs at room temperature, adding 1 egg at a time. So add in the first egg and mix that in. Now add in the second egg and mix that in together. Now let's add in 2 tablespoons of lemon juice and mix that in together. If you want your loaf to be a little bit more yellow, just add in a few drops of yellow food coloring and mix that in together. Now we're going to be adding in about 1/3 of our dry ingredients and mix that in together just until you no longer see any flour, because we don't want to be over mixing. Going to be slowly adding in half a cup of room temperature whole milk. So add about half of that in, and then the second third of the dry mixture and mix that together. And add in the rest of the milk and mix that in together. Now add in the last bit of your dry ingredients and mix. Don't overmix though, just until you no longer see any more flour. Now in a greased loaf pan, we're going to be adding our batter, and I greased my pan with butter. And we're just going to tap that a few times before placing it in the oven for 50 minutes to an hour. And once it's finished, remove it from the oven, place it on a cooling rack for 10 minutes. And after 10 minutes, just remove it from the loaf pan and let it cool completely before icing it. And that's what it looks like before it's iced. Now I'm going to be showing you guys how to make the icing. We're going to be adding 2/3 cups of icing sugar, a tablespoon plus a teaspoon of lemon juice, and 1 tablespoon of heavy whipping cream. And we're just going to mix that in together. I let my lemon loaf sit overnight, so I wrapped it in saran wrap. I just prefer my baked goods after it sits for the night. I find it tastes better that way. So I'm going to be using my silicone brush, and I'm just going to be adding that icing onto my loaf. Remember, do not do this until it is completely cooled, or else it'll run right off. I have learned this the hard way before. And if you want it leaking down the sides, which I like, I find it really pretty, just put some around the edge and let it drip down and it will dry hard. Now I'm just going to be zesting part of another lemon on top and adding a little twist of lemon on the top. I'm just slicing a piece off, cutting 1 slice down the middle and just kind of flipping it around, and ta-da! And that's what it looks like when it's all finished. I'm just waiting for the icing to dry. This is what it looks like currently while the icing is still wet, and I'll show you what it looks like when it dries. And this is what the icing looks like after it's dried. It takes about an hour for the icing to dry. And yeah, it is so yummy. This icing is one of my favorite icing. Lemon is one of my favorite flavors as well, so I'm just obsessed. And that's what it looks like when it hardens. As you can see, all the icing just pours down and hardens just like that. It's so delicious. And it cuts so perfectly. Hope you enjoy. If you like this recipe and you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe because my channel is all about sharing my favorite recipes with you guys.